Manjaro Linux. I just recently discovered this distribution. I came across when I was searching for Linux gaming reviews or performance reviews, and so many people using this Linux distribution, Manjaro Linux, which is an ARC-based Linux distribution. Not very popular among people who are new to Linux, but it's more like a Manjaro is, once you know how to do it, is actually not that hard. I'm normally a Ubuntu user. I've been using Ubuntu for so many years. When I started using Linux in maybe 15 years ago, I started with Red Hat Linux 7. Maybe more than it's long back time, but I started off with a RPM based Red Hat Linux in those days, and then I started using Manjaro Linux, which is another RPM based Linux distribution. But eventually one of the thing, and Ubuntu came along later on, and Ubuntu, I was impressed by Ubuntu by how easy the package management system is, and especially how easy the installing packages. When I say easy, I mean there are the speed of the package management, the operation of the installing things was faster in Ubuntu compared to RPM based. It's just my experience. Since I was a developer, I was really critical about so many things. So I moved to Ubuntu, and it was nice and easy. And also, what attracted me to Ubuntu was the availability of the third-party plugins like MP3 or support, like so many things. Ubuntu made it easy, and I was happy with Ubuntu for so many years. And I was actually happy, but recently what's been happening with Ubuntu is like the more recent version, the newer version of Ubuntu, the more new version I get Ubuntu, and then what's happening, Ubuntu is losing the backward compatibility. Basically, if I want to run so many backward like old programs or software, especially games, you need to fiddle with the old libraries, and there's so many old libraries are not supported in the newer version of Ubuntu. So what we have to do normally, find the exact library from an older version of Ubuntu and just try to install it and hope it works. Most of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. But Ubuntu is really getting rid of so many support backward. It's just my personal experience with so things like that, and I prefer KDE desktop environment over GNOME. Ubuntu is mainly a GNOME based, Unity based desktop environment, but I was using Kubuntu, which is a variant of Ubuntu with KDE desktop environment. But again, when I started using Manjaro now I've been using it for a month, I felt that something different about Manjaro, especially the KDE desktop environment. And I have noticed small details, like in Ubuntu you'll have the KDE desktop was not that, it's a little bit buggy, and there will be so many crashes with the KDE desktop, like the Dolphin file manager will crash randomly, like the subtle things which makes the user experience really good, like how well integrated the whole KDE desktop feels. Manjaro is, I have so far the experience is so much better what the Kubuntu experience. Like for example, the notification area, all these icons, notification area icons, system tray icons in Manjaro is very much well integrated. I had no issues with whatever icons they're popping up with. Even third-party software, they will show up nicely and then they will work nicely as intended. But with Ubuntu, there will be so many issues, like sometimes it would not work with third-party software, and there will be sometimes issues. And same goes with the Dolphin file manager, like how well integrated and responsive and interactive in different conditions and different scenarios. Like it's very much, I haven't had one single crash so far with the KDE with the when I'm using Manjaro Linux. So that's what impressed me about the Manjaro Linux, how well. And also I have found, as I'm using more and more Manjaro Linux, I found that because since it's an Arch based Linux distribution, it provides more backward compatibility, like a classic. It provides more software from the old days. So basically you'll find more backward compatibility support, like more old programs or than what Ubuntu repositories have. Basically, it has a large library of software available straight away from the different repositories that Manjaro provides. It's not specific to Manjaro. Manjaro is an Arch based, so it's specific to Arch Linux. And other than that, also the support for older programs seems to be better in Manjaro. Like it's more robust in terms of, and also it's more robust in terms of different hardware support out of the box. You don't have to fiddle with. I give you one example. When I was using Manjaro and I was switching my graphics card, like from NVIDIA to AMD, and then different types of AMD Radeon graphics cards. Yeah, Manjaro already has all the settings in place, like it's using AMD GPU as a default instead of the Radeon driver, which doesn't have Vulkan support, and so many things like that. Manjaro is very much well configured and it has out of box so many things. You don't have to manually do it. Basically, someone already did a solution for you already. So it's a very well maintained and integrated operating system. And the KDE desktop and the desktop environment in Manjaro is just so much amazing. Like I said, I didn't have a single crash so far. So basically, everything looks and works as intended. And when it comes to the third-party hardware support, Manjaro also has very much well integrated. Like you don't have to search the internet and download the. Suppose I have a USB Wi-Fi dongle I'm using right now. In Ubuntu, what you have to do, you have to go to the source driver page of this dongle, and then download the driver source code and then compile it yourself and then install it yourself and then do all the things manually, basically, because since Ubuntu doesn't provide a driver. But in Manjaro, I just searched for the driver in the repository and it was there straight away. I just had to install the driver from the package and straight away it's working. No issues. I didn't have to do anything manually. The other advantage of Manjaro is it's just nothing specific to Manjaro, is specific to Arch Linux. I always have the latest version of the graphics driver. It could be problematic since you are getting the latest version. Sometimes you want a stable, maybe you want to stick with a particular version, then you just have to not upgrade the system whenever there is a notification of the system upgrade. You just have to ignore it. That's all. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying Manjaro Linux. It's a very damn stable system, and it's pretty good with the different graphics hardware. And for example, I have NVIDIA and a proprietary driver and AMD both install it, and I don't have to fiddle with anything. Whenever I just switch the graphics card in the PCI slot, and it works straight away since I have both the drivers installed. But in Ubuntu, what happens when I install the NVIDIA driver, and it's gonna mess with the Mesa drivers, Mesa 3D drivers are responsible for providing graphics for AMD and Intel graphics cards. So same happens when I remove the NVIDIA driver, and it's gonna do something mess with the. So I have to reinstall the whole Mesa library in Ubuntu to get it to get back the AMD and Intel graphics working properly. Sometimes whenever there is an upgrade of the driver update. So these issues doesn't exist in Manjaro so far. Both the NVIDIA proprietary driver and open source driver can coexist, and I don't have to fiddle with I don't have to uninstall or reinstall another. I don't have to mess with it. Doesn't interfere. Mesa doesn't interfere with the proprietary NVIDIA driver. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's all good about Manjaro. Now I'm just gonna show you for the new people who wanna use Manjaro. I just wanna show you how what the Manjaro is like and what you should know before you use Manjaro Linux. A few things you should know before you use Manjaro Linux. There are some first thing you have to learn about Manjaro Linux, the package, how the software is installed. So you install software in Manjaro Linux using the package manager. You can do it from the command line, or you can use the provided software manager. Like I show you now, you go to the system, add and remove software. Here you will find everything, basically whatever you want to install. But first thing you should do after installing Manjaro, you should go here and go to the preference. I'm just punching my password, and then you do few things basically. You can toggle this on. I did it for every week and automatically download updates. I don't want that. I don't want it to work in the background. Hide tray when there's I want that. Parallel downloads, it was there before, I didn't touch it. And the mirror is where the packages will be downloaded from worldwide. And once I do the numbers of revisions, I don't touch it basically. And then I go to the advanced tab, and all these things will be like this. In third party, I will be enabling this one. So basically what this does, the Arch Linux repository, it doesn't have all the software like third party software like Office software. So what the AUR repository provides, it has all the third party softwares along with extra lots of different softwares like drivers you need to. So it is a must have basically, and check for Australia, and then we'll clean this one temporary. And then also Flatpak support, if you want to install Flatpak software, the Snap support Snap software. So Snap and Flatpak, these are like a third party providers for Linux. software. So, but this one is specific to Manjaro AUR, and that's all. Once you make sure that you have what you have to do, you have to click on this button, refresh mirror. First, make sure you have internet connection. I have internet connection, and it's gonna take a while, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. What it's doing is basically checking all the repositories and downloading all the packages, the list of the packages to the system, so that you can install all the software and you can properly upgrade your system, update your system whenever. So just leave it there. It will gonna take some time probably. I'll just go to the different text of what is happening. So, and then I'll just show you what else I have here. I have installed it in the Office. In the Office I have LibreWriter. Also I have WPS Writer, which is a very good compatible Office software, compatible with Microsoft Office and Word files. Basically it has a similar user interface. I prefer this as my Office, but when it comes to Microsoft Office files, and then also for here settings, you can see this is NVIDIA driver, system settings, where you can find all the multimedia. I'd love to have this SM player, which is a good one, and pulse audio volume control. Internet, I have everything like Firefox, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, curated, Zoom. See all these third-party software, Zoom, Microsoft Edge. All I had to do, I had to install them from this package manager. So once this refresh is complete, refresh is still running, you should be able to install all these third-party software. And I will install this, what is it called, free download manager, which is a very good downloader. You can download all kind of things, including BitTorrents, and it's also a third-party software, but yeah. And also for emulators, Rain, I have Rain emulator, PSP, all these emulator, including this one. So these are emulator Rain, and this one Xfce is from the third party and is available from the AUR repository. So for example, in Ubuntu we don't have Rain in the Ubuntu official repository. So can you imagine? And I have few other things like Florence virtual keyboard, which is a good virtual keyboard. I like this software. And also for games, playing Windows, I have Waitress for playing Windows games. And yeah, all other things. This is a nice software for configuring your joystick or gamepad. And that's all. G overlay, this is also a nice software for configuring the HUD, the FPS HUD for OpenGL and Vulkan games and programs. Mango HUD, you can install Mango HUD for the also G overlay. So these options are available. Multimedia. Now I'll show you while this is happening. Refresh me. I'll show you the settings on the Manjaro. So Manjaro provides few settings you can fiddle with other than installing packages or software. You can go to system settings and system settings. So this is where you'll find all the settings basically of your system, including your desktop. You can see appearance. Under appearance, you can change the desktop look and feel. and change the color tone of the thing, and the decoration, icons, cursor, font management. Maybe what I did with my desktop, I didn't like the default font which comes with Manjaro, so I changed it to the Ubuntu font, which looks a little bit better. I would say for my monitor it looks better. And so here you'll find all the appearance thing. The Manjaro provides this hardware configuration. So here you'll find what drivers are installed for your particular graphics card. Like for my Intel graphics card, here I have open source driver. So here you can't do anything. Better to not. It's just for information. You don't have to touch these things. Most of the time it will go automatic. Here is an interesting part. This kernel. Here, if you, I'm currently running the default kernel version is, but you can easily also install other kernels which are provided by the Manjaro or Arch Linux. But I stick with the LTS version, which is a long-term support version. Mostly, it's mostly tested stable kernel, but with other one for different purposes. I'm not sure whether it's gonna provide it can also have a very old kernel, like here you can install that instead of running. So Manjaro made it very easy to have a very old kernel for your system if you need it for some reasons, like very old driver which doesn't have support for new kernel. So which is really good with the language packages. Here you can look at the language. Now all the other things like hardware input, monitor, display and monitor resolution, you can change it here. And about this system, you'll find about your system, RAM, graphics card, manufacturer, blah blah, all this product name. You can see I'm using KDE version that, and it's using X100 graphics, not Wayland. X100 is the best one so far. And what I like about Manjaro, it provides a very, very nice view of the systemd, what all the processes or programs that are initiated at the boot. So you can toggle these things, but better to not fiddle with these unless you know what you're doing. So if you want to optimize your system, maybe this is where you should be looking at, like CUPS is active and running. CUPS is responsible for printing service. So if I don't have a printer, maybe I can stop this or disable that. So it won't be started during the boot time. So maybe it will affect your system performance slightly, but not heavily. Yeah, that's all other things. And this is done. So here, once you refresh the mirror, the next thing you should be doing, so here it's asking for password. Go to the updates and check for any update. If there is any update, like here, you just apply and it's all ticked automatically. Just apply, it will complete the update for you. So why you should be doing this, and just apply. And you can see this Google Chrome is a third-party software, is provided by AUR repository, and this emulator is provided by Flatpak repository. And well, we are getting a new version here from this to this version for Google Chrome. So that's what's nice about Manjaro, it's automatic. And here, if you click in here, you can see the details, what's happening. Just go back here. So once it's done, So once update is completed, you can go back here or restart it. The browse tab, you can look for software you're looking for, you want to install. Like I have Firefox already installed. If I want to remove it, I just click on here and apply. If I want to install, say let's say Discord, I can just click in here and apply. That's all. So this is done. That's why nothing to do here. Update is completed. Like if I want to install Blender, I can just click in here and just apply and it will install it. Or I can go to categories and look for software in different categories or games. So what's gonna happen? So you can uncheck this one like me. So in the software mode, it will only show the software, not like drivers. So you uncheck that one so that you should be able to search for any third-party driver. Like for my Wi-Fi dongle, I installed RT something driver. Just in the search box, you type it in and search, and it will show you what's available. Like for my driver, for my Wi-Fi dongle, I've installed this driver. That's why it's showing installed. I can remove it. You can see here. Go back. That's all in the repository tab. Yeah. Groups. So with any third-party software, you have to use this like a Google Chrome. Like I can search here and it's installed, or I can install the beta version. Whatever you need is all available in one place with Manjaro Linux. And going back to the system settings, I want to show you the system settings. That's all. I think in the system settings I showed you everything basically. So that's all. And so far, this is a very nice Linux distribution. I have to initially, when I learned about Arch Linux, I was scared to even install Arch Linux because I thought I have to compile everything by myself from the source code. But nothing like that. Manjaro made it very easy with the package manager like this one. So you don't have to touch or compile anything by yourself. All will be automatically done for you by the click of a button. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this video and share. Bye bye.